that Jacob DeGrom's got shoulder tightness, and supposedly this happened when he was doing some long tossing and everything. He's supposed to throw today in some way, shape, or form, and Buck Showalter said that we'll find out a little bit more about what's going on today, and there may be an MRI associated with it. God Almighty,
Here we go.
It's just unbelievable. I mean, and I don't know. All right, I'm sure that he, was working out in the off season. I'm sure he got the arm going and everything else. Maybe it's just that I don't even want to speculate. I just want to hope that he's okay and that we're not dealing with anything that is significant. That maybe a day or two off doesn't rectify. So,
but I mean, it's the same. The reason why we're speculating is we went through almost an entire year of stops and starts with him where nothing was officially diagnosed. And even when we thought something was officially diagnosed, you had the general manager saying one thing or the president of baseball operations saying one thing and then Jacob saying another thing. And then he comes back after missing the rest of the year when we were told he was going to come back. Oh, he'll be back before the end of the season. He'll be back. Then he never came back. And now, before opening day, we have another one of these situations. It's so confusing.
The last time we saw him was last year on July 7th.
Yeah.
So he has basically been off 9 months. I mean, he has been shut down for 9 months.
And what the hell is going on?
And I don't know. I don't know if it was the shoulder last year. I don't know if it was the elbow last year. I think most people thought it was the elbow. And nobody would really tell us anything. And we all thought, okay, if it's the elbow, then he's maybe doing the Tanaka thing, where he's just going to rest it. He's not going to have surgery, and he's going to try to get through it that way. But again,
Sandy mentioned tear.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right.
And then Jacob came out and said no tear.
Right, it's unbelievable. So, but this is a shoulder situation, it's tightness on. Now, I'll say this: if I can remember as far back as when I used to pitch in high school, I remember initially ramping up. There would always be some sort of uncomfortable tightness in the lat area and the back of the shoulder. And it was just that muscles that hadn't been used, the way that I was using them and the way that I was throwing and as hard as I was throwing. And, when you're a pitcher and you get out on the mound and you saw him, when he and Scherzer split the game the other day, they're trying to outdo each other. Who throws a little harder? And, they may not be saying that publicly, but in the back of their minds, they're uber competitive. Both of them are A-type personalities, and both of them want to go out there and they want to be the man.
Sure.
Which is a good thing. That's how you get the best out of everybody. So I just hope he didn't overdo it, the last time out, and hopefully this thing comes back today and we get up tomorrow morning and we hear that everything's going to be okay. It was just a little bit of a tender, whatever one of these back muscles here or
let's hope
whatever.
So.
And then that's all it's it. But I have to tell you, as a Met fan, hearing this last night, I was like, come on, man.
It's like, of course.
It's the last thing I want to hear.
Of course. I mean, it's like you almost expect these things to happen. It's almost like you're waiting for it. When you are a fan of a team like the Mets, who has experienced so many of these ups and downs and a lot of downs in recent memory, this wouldn't be as big of a deal if we weren't off of last season. And I still don't know what was wrong with Jacob DeGrom last year.
Tear, no tear.
Yeah, I still don't know. I think the official designation was elbow inflammation. I think that was the official thing that they ended up on. But how many times do we talk about whether or not it was mental with him, where he would feel a little something, then he wouldn't pitch through it, and then he would come off the mound, then he'd come back and make his next start, and it was almost like he was afraid at every little thing that he felt. He thought that if he ended up pitching through it would turn into something bigger, and then maybe he doesn't cash in on that next big deal because he ends up really tearing something or hurting himself. There might be something like that going on too.
Yeah, I don't think that's him. That's not who he is. But I just, when I watch him throw, I see a really fluid thrower, somebody that looks really natural doing what he's doing. What's not natural is that he has like a 95 mile an hour slider. That's insane. And that puts an enormous amount of torque on your shoulder and on your elbow, and everybody knows that. But when you watch him throw, I mean, it is beautiful. I mean, it's natural. There's nothing that's herky-jerky about him, as opposed to when you watch Scherzer throw. Mm-hmm. He's got a little bit of a weird kind of delivery.
Yeah.
And it looks like it doesn't look nearly as smooth as Jake's does, but for whatever reason, Scherzer's been a workhorse, and he doesn't get injured. They may shut him down for a couple weeks here or there because of a tired arm or whatever, but hopefully this is nothing big, man. It's like the last thing that we as Met fans wanted to hear. We want to see him pitching opening day. We want to see him on the mound, and I hope and I pray that we're going to get that. I just hope we get that, and that it's not anything more than just a little bit of tightness. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like I don't want to hear about it unless it's something severe, because all it does is dredge up these feelings.
Yes.
Like, now I know he was supposed to pitch today, and you kind of had to say something about it. But it's almost like wait till today, because he even said it. Buck Showalter didn't completely rule out the fact that he was going to pitch today. Yesterday, he was like, I don't know, maybe if he wakes up, he feels good, he starts throwing a little bit, maybe he'll end up doing it. If not, if it's still sore, then he's going to end up getting the MRI. But it was, he said it was unlikely or something along those lines that he was going to pitch today, but he didn't completely rule it out. It was almost like wait till today, then send him for the MRI, then let us know. Because maybe he comes back today and he feels okay. And then we went through all of this stress and drama for nothing.
Well, imagine how he feels. Imagine how his teammates feel. I know how we as the fans feel, but let's just keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And I don't want to speculate on anything other than that, it's early on. He's gone out there and he's thrown a couple, of innings hard. He hasn't pulled anything back. He's letting it loose. And, maybe because it's been a long time since he's really been involved like he has been involved over the last 3 weeks, maybe that's a little bit of what's going on here. And let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that is the case. Now, the other thing about another injured athlete that looks like it's going to happen, folks, it looks like Tiger Woods will be at the Masters.
Wow.
And so a guy by the name of Rex Hoggard, he is a writer for the Golf Channel. And he basically has said that Tiger Woods' game is ready to roll. Like he's been practicing. Every part of his game is ready. I guess it's really about the stamina of whether he can make it through 5 days out there at Augusta, including the Pro-Am and the par 3 and all that stuff that goes on there. It's one of the reasons why we get knocked off early next week, starting next Monday.
That's right.
It's because of all the things that go on at the Masters. And according to this guy, Rex Hoggard, basically says Tiger Woods' golf game is said to be all back, and the excitement levels are continue to build ahead of potential return at Augusta National for the 15-time major winner.
And we are to trust this Rex Hoggard?
Yeah, Hoggard.
Hoggard?
Yes, 100%. Yeah,
okay.
This is what he does for a living.
All right.
This is who he covers. I don't have any inside scoop. I'm just reading what he wrote, and that would be unbelievable for golf if he makes it and he gets back. And
he's got to play well, though, because it'll be sad if he goes out there and just completely doesn't look like himself. Maybe it was too soon for him to do this. Doesn't make the cut. He's shooting in the 90s. Then all of a sudden, it's like,
he's not going to be shooting in the 90s. I can tell you that. But I mean, this is like the triumphant return. This is his golf tournament. He loves this place. He plays, even when he plays bad there, he plays great to all of our other standards, the standards that we have for ourselves.
No, I mean, it would be incredible. I mean, obviously.
Remember, the PGA Tour is loaded with young, great golfers now, all spawned because he made golf popular.
Yeah.
And now he's got to go against all those guys coming off of a leg injury and that horrific accident. But everybody is saying that it looks like it's trending towards that he is going to participate, and that according to this Golf Channel writer, that his golf game is ready to rock and roll. And I think the players on the PGA Tour are going to be excited about having him back.
I would think so. I mean, this guy is the legend of all legends when it comes to this generation of golf, and all of these guys look up to him. And I think, in the very beginning, he didn't have as many friends. Now he's got a lot of friends with his change in personality, the things he's gone through. I think a lot of people on tour really respect him and love the guy. I mean, he was at the top of his game. That was one of the things that was talked about. He was just so focused and just Tiger, and really wasn't opening up himself to friendships and relationships and things like that.
I'm telling you, that first tee is going to be a really poignant moment.
It's going to be the most poignant of your life.
No, I don't know about that, but the gallery is going to be
poignant,
charged up. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
the patrons.
Yeah, as we talked
about, are going to be fired up.
If people don't know what we're talking about, Brandon Tierney of Tiki and Tierney said that if Tiger lines up and participates in this year's Masters on that first tee box, it will be the most poignant moment of his sports life.
Right, and this is what Rex Hoggard said on his Golf Central podcast.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Well, this is what he does for a living. What do you want me to do?
No, just that Rex Hoggard's got a Golf Central podcast.
Yeah, and now everybody knows who Rex Hoggard is.
Is it an Odyssey property?
I have no idea if
we
it is. We
should get it. We should acquire it.
Buy it.
We should buy this Rex Hoggard podcast.
So here's his exact quote. What I've heard from people in South Florida. Now, I don't know which people he's talking to. I'm assuming he's talking to golf people, not just people walking the streets.
Yeah, I would hope so.
The actual game itself, the ball speed, the club head speed, it's all there. It's all back.
Wow.
That's what he has said.
All right, when are we going to know? When's he going to make a decision?
I don't know if it. I don't know if it has to be done by today. It may have to be done by today.
I would think at some point.
Yeah, because he's got to participate in all the things that are going on.
Start Monday, right?
Right. Yes.
So let's go.
I would think there would be an announcement today. He, we see Woods appeared to be recovered rather well, playing a practice round with Justin Thomas and his son Charlie at Augusta. One source on the ground gave a positive account to ESPN, stating he played every one of them 18 holes. He looked good to me.
Man, if he comes back from that car accident and actually can compete in this thing.
And be there for Saturday and Sunday.
Like, I don't know if poignant's the word that I'm looking for, but it would be...
Elation.
I don't know about elation either.
That's too much. I mean, if he's in the top 10 going into Sunday.
Oh, I mean, it would... Yeah, I don't know, elation...
Elation, not elation.
It'll be one of the most...
Moving? Interesting?
One of the most moving... One of the greatest comebacks in the history of modern sport. How's that sound?
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to make it sound big.
Yeah, well, it is big.
Let me see what his odds are on FanDuel Sportsbook, if they have changed, if everybody's all... Now, when we checked last time, it was plus 5,000 when we looked last couple of days ago.
Right.
Today, it is still plus 5,000, so it has not changed. So people still think that he's playing, but he's going to be not one of the favorites, obviously.
So you remember our buddy Hank Haney? Didn't we have him on with us, Al? Didn't he hang up on us or something?
Hank Haney, the caddy for Tiger.
Yeah, his coach, his golf coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did not end well, that conversation.
Yeah, I forgot what ended up that was. What that
well,
was
he
all
wrote
about.
that book, and then you guys took umbrage with the fact that he was trashing his guy.
Okay, you know better than I do. What the hell happened?
I remember. Yeah, I think I was still here for that.
All right. Well, Hank Haney, of course, says if
Producer
Tiger
Joe
can
and Evan,
walk,
maybe? I don't know.
He can win.
If he could walk, he
if
can
Tiger
win.
can walk, he can win.
And he could walk, right? So I guess he can win.
Right.
That's what Hank is saying now. He's trying to, get back in the good graces of Tiger after trashing him in his book.
Yeah, well, that's why we didn't like it.
Yeah, no, of course. All right, it's going to be a big moment. Hopefully,
it's going to be great.
Maybe we'll actually get an announcement before the show ends. That'd be something else.
That, to me, will be the most poignant moment in sports in my lifetime.
In my lifetime. I wonder where he's going to watch that.
I don't think I've ever said that.
Poignant in your lifetime?
No, I try not to be a lifetime guy.
Yeah.
Like, not try to put things in that category. Like, this is the greatest thing of my lifetime.
Well, let's do that next. The greatest everything in your lifetime. Let's try to figure it out. The greatest taco, the greatest slice of pizza, the greatest...
I have to say Gunner's wedding was probably the greatest thing in my lifetime.
Because you got the announcement of Casper as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a whole thing.
Sydney's wedding up there as well?
I had to write the check.
That was the most expensive day of your lifetime.
It's unforgettable.
Yeah. Okay. So you do have lifetime moments.
Yeah, well, we all do. I mean, but I don't think I've ever, I remember the 94 Cup with the Rangers. That was great. Probably am I going to say it's like the greatest moment in my lifetime?
No, you can't really.
I don't know if I can say that.
It's hard to say. I'm with you. I don't really have those. Like, sometimes I think this is the best cheeseburger I've ever had. Like, I'll say something like that. But that's about it,
In your lifetime?
In my lifetime. Yeah.
You ever use the words in your lifetime?
This, to me, would be the most poignant moment in sports of my lifetime. Is that exactly what he said? Did I nail it?
That, to me, will be the most poignant moment in sports in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
It's a huge deal.
It's a hot take.
Yes, that is. One of the hottest.